Hi there, everybody. Nate Eaton coming to you from our studio. The motions are being filed in the Chad Daybell case. Thought I'd give you a quick update this afternoon on a couple of ones that are kind of significant that will impact the trial. I mean, they all impact the trial, but these will impact, I guess, your ability and my ability to potentially see the trial and where it will be seen. First one, let's start with the cameras. So this one was filed, both of these were filed Wednesday, and the prosecutors are opposed to cameras in the courtroom. Now, I don't think we're surprised by that. I didn't think that they would have changed their mind by now. You remember in the, my collar's all weird. You remember that they were opposed to having cameras in Lori Vallow's case, and her attorneys were opposed, and the judge was opposed, and that's why we didn't get any cameras in there. But we were allowed computers, and so we live tweeted. I live tweeted the hearing, the trial every day, and we got the audio at the end of every day, and you were able to listen to it. Well, this is different because John Pryor, Chad Daybell's attorney, is asking for cameras. He wants them. He says that his client, Chad Daybell, wants this to be a public hearing. Well, it is a public hearing regardless of whether there's cameras or not. It just impacts the public's ability to watch and participate in it. Well, prosecutors say that there shouldn't be any cameras and there should not be live streaming of the trial because it creates issues for potential jurors. They mentioned that a lot of the jurors during jury selection in Lori's case were asked if they had seen the Netflix show, if they watched KTVB, if they watched East Idaho News. They asked, how actively they were involved in consuming media. And they're saying that cameras in the pretrial stuff will create more media, more pretrial publicity. Because of that, there shouldn't be cameras. That's one of the reasons. They're also saying that it could affect witnesses. It says, let me read you this, that witnesses, the risk is that excessive prejudicial pretrial publicity will negatively impact the party's right to trial created by the improper use of camera and audiovisual equipment in sensitive pretrial hearings. I'll say this, we will follow, the media will follow. It's the judge's courtroom. The judge gets to decide if there are stipulations. If he says one camera in the corner, that's what the media has to do. Of course, he can say no cameras. He can say 5 cameras. The judge has control of it. So this issue that there could be an improper use of the camera, I don't know if that's happened before in this case, but that they're arguing that there could be an improper use and that could hurt the case. Also that, excuse me, the witnesses could be nervous and worried, knowing that potentially millions of people would be watching, that if there's a camera in there, they might be affected by it. And then they say, while the trial was not televised due to the order of the court, the media constantly reported on the case. Multiple reporters live tweeted the trial, providing the public with accurate and by-the-minute access to what was happening in the courtroom. At the end of each day of trial, the audio from the trial was provided to the public. We know that. We participated in that. While it remains to be seen if the public will be as interested in Chad Daybell's case as they were in Lori Vallow's case, it goes without saying that pretrial hearings and trial will garner media attention. I want to ask you, are you as interested in Chad's trial as Lori's? Comment below. I'm wondering if there will be such an interest. They're obviously very different people, and Lori gives, her reactions are different than what Chad gives off in court, and so that would be interesting. So they're saying that allowing cameras back in for pretrial proceedings will only complicate the jury selection process, and that it shouldn't be in there about microphones and whatnot. So bottom line, they're saying the Vallow Daybell case has garnered worldwide attention. The state of Idaho has been inundated with media coverage. Broadcasting or live streaming the presentation, hearings, and testimony has the potential of exacerbating prejudice to all parties. The state urges the court to maintain its decision prohibiting video and photographic coverage. In the alternative, the state requests that the court limit broadcasting of the trial in such a manner as to limit prejudice to the parties. So that's a preview of what we're going to hear on the 29th. They're going to argue against cameras. Chad Daybell is going to argue for cameras, and the judge will make the decision. I will say the judge is allowing the 29th, the hearing on that day, to be live streamed, not with our cameras, the court cameras. So it'll be the Zoom cameras, which, aren't very good, but it's better than nothing. So we'll have that. We'll carry that for you live wherever you're watching from. The other interesting motion is the prosecutors are asking the judge to move Chad's trial back to Eastern Idaho. You'll recall that Lori's was in Boise, and Chad's right now is scheduled to be in Boise. But, the prosecutors are saying that it should be moved back. They're saying that the arguments, now remember, the prosecutors have always wanted the trial in Fremont County. It's significantly cheaper. It's on the home turf. Not that the home turf, quote unquote, matters, but they wanted it there. And the judge said no, because it would be hard to find a fair and impartial jury because of extensive media coverage. And the prosecution in their new filing is saying, listen, Boise had extensive media coverage. There were live trucks there every day from the TV stations. Interviews were done outside on the courthouse steps. There were press conferences. People gathered for the verdict. It was a busy time for the Ada County Courthouse. They're saying the same reasoning that existed for the trial to be moved from Fremont County now exists for the trial to be moved from Ada County. Interesting. They're saying that a fair and impartial jury can be found in Fremont County, and that because the bodies, JJ, Tylee, and Tammy, all died in Fremont County, that's where the trial should be held. And, they're arguing that KTVB, the local news channel, the dominant local news channel, had extensive coverage. We were brought up. The judge in his original filing said that we extensively covered the case. Because of that, Eastern Idahoans know all about it. Well, the prosecutors say in this filing, coverage by East Idaho News was specifically referenced. However, there was nothing to support or establish where those who follow the stories reside or are located. In fact, East Idaho News has taken over coverage of this story and has viewers nationally and internationally. Further, East Idaho News was a consistent and strong presence during the trial in Ada County, and after the trial conducted interviews with some of the jurors. The same rationale that applied at the time the court ordered the change of venue now applies, but in relation to Ada County. So it's interesting that they're saying, too, it's going to be harder to find a jury in Ada County now that Lori's case has happened there. And they're asking Judge Boyce that if he doesn't move it to Fremont County, at least reconsider a transfer of venue to a closer, consider transfer of venue to a closer, less saturated, or less expensive venue. So interesting filings there. We'll see what Judge Boyce rules on that. That would be quite a change if the trial is held in Fremont County. If you've been to the courthouse up there, it's small. It's a small rural courthouse, but it is closer to Eastern Idaho. I guess some of the other options are maybe in Bonneville County or in Pocatello and Bannock County or maybe Twin Falls. I don't know. I don't know if he would move it. The argument could be had, and I think Chad Daybell's attorney is going to argue to keep it in Ada County. That's where he lives, and he's going to say, we already did this one time and it worked great here. Let's continue to do it here in Ada County. So anyway, those are the two filings. Might be one or two more coming out before the hearing on the 29th. I will tell you that the media, we're going to file a motion in support of cameras, at least East Idaho News is, in combination with a couple of other Idaho media outlets. And that should be filed in the next few days, and hopefully it might have some help and that we can get the trial televised or live streamed, but at least for now on the 29th, we will have that live stream. If you want to read these motions, you can go to our website. We have a link to them. You can read them if you're really interested in that sort of stuff. But for now, I'm going to go get a drink of water. I'm Nate Eaton reporting. Thanks for watching.